how do you approach strangers without being creepy? So yeah, I get asked this all the time. And the funny thing is I get a lot of comments that are like, you're a creep. So I don't, the funny thing is like, that's never happened in person. Like I've never approached a stranger and they've been like, you're so creepy. But I get a lot of comments like that, but which is fine. I like expect that. This is social media. The thing is, I never ever thought about it. I never thought about it until people started asking me that. And then I was like, well, for me, it's just I be myself. For me, when I'm approaching a stranger, I generally am smiling. Usually I approach face to face, so I'm not like surprising them or yelling at them from behind them, which the thing is, there's no rules, guys. There is no rules. So I have like hollered at someone from behind because I was like, I can't let this person get away. Like, okay, that sounded creepy. But I can't let them like just, and I was about to say, I can't let them escape, but I can't let them walk away without like me trying to get their portrait because they're so perfect. One thing I've noticed about doing this is when I'm successful, I'm in the moment. I'm present with the person I'm interacting with. I'm not like in my head going down a checklist of, now I must do these 5 things to not be creepy. You know, that's just like, that's not how it works. I'm just literally living my life, but there's a camera there. So hopefully that's helpful. I don't know if that is. Do you think anyone can do what you do? This is a good question. I like this question. So I would say technically, yes. I think like most people, if they're physically able to, and they have somewhat of a skill set with technology, I think most people can do what I do. The real question is, can people do it at the same level as me? Which I would say is going to be rarer. And not to like toot my horn, because I started at the frickin' bottom, guys. Literally, I bought my camera. I bought this camera. This is the only camera I own. I bought this 3 years ago. I don't even know. August of 2023. So not even 3 years yet. Not even 3 years, 2.5 years maybe or something. And I didn't even know what the difference was between 24 millimeters and 70 millimeters. I didn't know anything I didn't know anything really. And I didn't know anything about making videos. I didn't know anything about approaching strangers and doing portraits of them. My point is, I don't think I'm the greatest at all. I think like I've gotten good. Like, I think I'm pretty good now. And I would probably say I'm a professional at this point because I do this full time. So I am a professional photographer. So I think my skills are pretty solid, pretty solid. But I will tell you that I am obsessed. Like I was saying before, I am obsessed. I work so much. For the first 1.5 years, I probably worked every day, every single day. And I would shoot and then come home and edit and make videos. And I barely ever took any time off. And when I did, I would just feel this like unbearable urge to go work more. I've learned that I need time off. I need like a day off, like every once in a while. I'm still really bad, guys. I'm still really bad. But I gotta say, yes, people can do what I do. But I think that you need to love it. You need to love doing this. And you need to always be improving, always learning. I don't think there's any shortcuts when it comes to being successful in what I do. I think like talent can outweigh the technical skills for sure. My talent is, I think I'm talented, but I don't think I'm the best, you know, like I'm probably like above average. And what I mean by talent is like how they work with other people, how they are at storytelling, how they are at marketing. Like people think that what I do is just go up and take photos of strangers and I go home and make a video. But it's so like creating the package, creating the final product. You need to be good at so many different things. So many things. Like video editing, you need to understand like the vibe of the video, the vibe of the music, what music to choose. You need to be really good at marketing. You need to be good at branding. You need to be good at community management, audio mixing. You're basically a one-man shop and you're building it from the ground up. So you have to be good at a lot of different things. So I guess this is a very long answer to the question, which the question was, do you think anyone can do what you do? So that is my answer, that you better be friggin' dedicated and you better love it. If you think you're going to get to a level that, or you just have to be outstandingly talented and people have to love you straight out of the gate. If you like don't have a lot of the other skills, you can be overweight on some of the big like people person skills, and maybe you're an amazing freaking photographer, but I don't think that's going to do it for you. Cause like my videos did well when I sucked. Okay, guys, I'm being honest. Like I look back at my edits, my photography editing a year and a half ago, and I cringe. Like literally, I'm like, oh my God, this is like so bad. I need to re-edit this and launch it out because this is a disservice to the person I was photographing. So I think like your skill matters with photography, but to me, it's like the cherry on top of the whole package. You got to be great at storytelling. You got to be great at building tension or emotion. And then you got to like, boom, hit them with the photography at the end. Or you got to hit them with the worst photography ever and rage bait people and just make people want to comment and hate on you. Because I've early on in my career doing this on Instagram, I launched a video that the photography was brutally bad and I got absolutely destroyed in the comments. Like this was probably my 4th or 5th video I ever did. The funny thing is, because I got destroyed in the comments, it went freaking viral. Like the first time I probably ever got 100,000 views, and it was so painful because it was just people hating me. And yes, a slight part of me wanted to quit, but I kept going. So I kept pushing through. But a slight part of me for a bit there was like, I should just stop doing this because this is too much. This is too painful. And then the reality of like my strength pushed through and was like, you aren't quitting. No one's stopping you. Like you have a mission. Let's go. And I really believe that, like, and I still have a mission. So I ain't stopping. What percentage of people say no? Now it's like 50-50. But when I started, it was like 80% said yes. I come from a marketing background. So like acceptance rate, the amount of people who say yes versus no, you can segment that. So like men versus women. Women are much more likely to say yes. Okay. And then when you segment it by age, women between the ages of 18 and 28 are like way more likely to say yes, like 80 to 90%. But once you move up to like 50 plus, 50 years and older, men or women, it's like 20% say yes, maybe even less, maybe 10%. So you can see that reflected in my work also, because it's very hard to get older folks to say yes to me. And because of that, there's less representation of older people in my work. And I think it's either like social media, they just don't like it. They don't care about it. Maybe less trusting. And yeah, they don't care about clout. I don't know. They don't care. Okay, it used to be 80% said yes to 50-50. I think the change is I'm asking a lot of older folks nowadays. And I'm asking a wider range of people in general. When I started with doing portraits, I had a very narrow range of like who I was asking. And that changed maybe 6 months into my work, where I had a realization that I could do portraits of anyone. I could talk to anyone and I could make great videos regardless of any factor. And yes, I do keep all of my no's. I keep all those videos, but I don't release them because that's just seems weird. Maybe someday I'll like blur out the faces and release some of them, because some of them are extremely funny and some of them are really painful too, which is also funny to everyone except me probably. All right. Next question. Are you nervous approaching people? Yes, I still get nervous. It's a little less well, probably a lot less nervous compared to when I started, but I still get nerves, and I still miss opportunities too, where I like see someone and they're perfect. And it's usually because they're so perfect for portraits that it's like too much. And like, they're walking by me and I'm like, and just like the words don't come out and I just fail. And then I kick myself and feel really bad about it. What I've learned is that once I break through, meaning once we start the interaction, I'm like not nervous at all anymore. And I liken it to taking a ice bath where you're just so nervous about jumping into the ice bath. You're like, this is going to be so painful. I really don't want to do this. But as soon as you enter the ice bath, it is really shocking, but then your body relaxes into it pretty quickly after. And I find that is exactly what happens. As soon as I break the ice, all of that goes away. All of the nervousness goes away, and it's replaced with just presence, like being in the current moment and interacting. And you would think that since I had the GoPro on and I was filming it, and I know that, well, my videos get a lot of views. I mean, sometimes millions, like sometimes 60 to 70 million views. You know, I could walk around the corner and have an interaction with someone and 60 million people could see that. And you would think that might get in my head a bit and make me a little anxious because I'm generally an anxious person. But for some reason, as soon as I break through and I start an interaction with a stranger, all of that goes away and I can just focus and be in the moment. And I don't know why that happens, but again, I'm not going to overthink it. I don't think about it too much because I think maybe that will jinx me and I'm afraid, but that's probably my anxiousness, like talking. Okay, next one. Has doing this changed how you see yourself? Which very deep question. And what's interesting is it has, which is crazy because before I started this, I thought I was super introverted. And then once I started doing this, I started realizing that after an interaction, well, during and after the interaction, I'd be filled with so much energy. I'd be just like buzzing off of the energy. And I realized that's an extroverted part of me that I didn't even know existed. So I think that's the big thing that I would say I've learned from doing this. Everything else I like kind of, well, maybe not everything else, but like a lot of the stuff I knew about myself. Like I'm really hardworking. I'm extremely hyper focused, which is why I can continue to do this work at high volume. And not, I've had burnouts, but like I am super focused to a fault where like my relationships are injured or damaged. My life is kind of insane. I think a lot of the insanity is because of my hyper focus, because I can just like work and grind and make the work happen. And it's at the detriment to my private life, my personal relationships, and my health probably. It's kind of a problem, and we're working on it, guys. But yeah, I kind of knew that about myself before I started this, but it's actually become even more of an issue, I'd say, because of this work, because I can dive so deeply into it, and I'm so obsessed with it. Okay, next question. What draws you to a stranger to want to take their picture? So it could literally be anything. You know, sometimes it's their hair, sometimes it's what they're wearing, sometimes it's where they are, right? Like, oh, she's looking over the Willamette River and it's just this beautiful scene and I like need to go capture that. But I would say the main thing is it's always the same feeling, and it's kind of like this tugging sensation, like I'm attached to a rope and it's like pulling me towards the person. Do people recognize you in public? Is it flattering or uncomfortable? Yeah, people recognize me every once in a while. Well, yeah, like if I have my gear on, right? If I have my GoPro strapped on, then I get recognized like every time I go out to shoot. It's probably like 4 or 5 times, honestly. People like stop me. Like sometimes less, sometimes more. Is it flattering or uncomfortable? It's not uncomfortable because it's kind of cool. It's like, whoa, like people like my stuff. And like usually I see a lot of comments every day, but it's different when someone's like in person telling you like they like your work. It's very fulfilling and motivating. I will say that it is slightly uncomfortable when I'm like out working. When I'm working, meaning like I'm in the middle of a shoot. I'm in the middle of approaching a stranger and talking to them, and I'm interviewing them. Because it is kind of, maybe not an interview, but like we're having the conversation part of this where like I'm asking them questions, and then we're like deep in a subject about how they've always felt ugly in their life, you know? And then out of the blue, some random person comes in and they're like, "Are you Pale Blue Wave?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm like, we were just getting like the best stuff ever, and you just interrupt." Like, obviously I don't say that. I'm just like, "Yeah, like, yep, I am Pale Blue Wave, but maybe like we can talk later." That's the only time where I'm like, wow. If I'm like shooting photography and someone says that, that's okay. Like, I don't get upset about it, but I'm still working kind of, and I'm in public. Listen, I'm in public. I get it. I have no privacy in public. Okay. I'm a photographer. I know that. But when I'm like conversing, and sometimes that gets a little like, if they ruin, like when we're just nailing a good conversation, and those are a meaningful conversation, and then it gets interrupted, that's kind of painful. What camera do you use? I use a Sony. This is a Sony a7R5. And my lens of choice is the 50 millimeter 1.4. This is my baby. I don't know. I don't think I ever will need another lens. I think the 50 millimeter is it for me, guys. Next, I use the GoPro. This is the GoPro 12. I have a chest mount for it. People ask me all the time how I do it. It goes like right here, and it's kind of big and bulky and crazy looking. I remember the first time going out to shoot, this felt so bulky, and I felt like everyone was looking at me because, you know, you got this strapped to your chest. It's like wild. You're walking around in public like this. And I remember how intense it felt the first time I went out to shoot with that thing strapped on. It's very uncomfortable at first, but now I don't ever really think about it. Okay, I'll do one more. What advice would you give to new photographers starting out? My advice technically would be to, when you get your camera, learn all of your settings. Go to YouTube and type in like your camera name and then settings. And then go through and learn every setting. After you have your technical stuff down, just have fun. It should be fun. That's it. You should go out and photograph as much as you want to. If you feel like doing it, you should do it, because it's supposed to be fun. And then also edit as much as you photograph. When I started, I would be out for 2 hours and then I'd be editing for 2 hours. And obviously, as you get better, like nowadays, I can edit way, way faster. I also never use presets. I always edit from scratch. I don't even have my own presets. Go out, have fun, be yourself. If you have a big dream, then you got to have the passion, the dedication, and the work ethic to make it happen. That's my advice. Work ethic is everything. You have to be disciplined. Honestly, talent is great. Discipline will get you where you need to go. That's my advice. Have fun though. Okay, thanks for watching. This is round one. I'll probably do like 2 more of these because there's literally like 20 more questions. But this was fun. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace.